Once you complete Phase 4, your next challenge will be to meet the requirements to complete Phase 5 by utilizing new technology you gain access to in Tier 9. Finally confirmed, Tier 9 is the final.
This is gonna be so good!
Hello everyone, welcome to the 4th episode of my Let's Play with Spoilers. And today I apologize because I lied. The goal was to unlock Tier 8 in less than 20 hours, and the factory that you see right now at the screen is 20 hours old and Tier 8 is still not there.
I am very disappointed!
Yes, sorry, this is almost there. In reality the video should rather be how to unlock Tier 8 in almost 20 hours.
Pull the lever, Crunk. Wrong lever!
So, for newcomers, I remind you the basics of the previous episodes. Of course, we have producing versatile frames and smart plating.
Of course!
Continuously since the first episode. It's the pile of machine just in front of the container area that takes care of it. There's no need for more, but of course, it has to run until the end to pass elevator package 4. Since episode 2, we are now producing and accumulating an insane amount of 50,000 automated wiring.
$1 jillion. Sir, that's not a number. Oh.
And if we don't do this, our goal of reaching package 4 in less than 40 hours is doomed to certain defeat.
Doomed to certain defeat.
Doomed!
Yes, and since episode 3, we have automated computers. And of course, we are using the alternative recipe with quartz.
Of course!
Because we want to avoid using plastic to produce computer because we need oil. The thing is, we need this oil to produce our energy because we won't use nuclear. Nuclear is too long to set up and not necessary to reach our goal of completing Space Elevator Package 4. So, in this episode 4, we are going to automate the production of heavy modular frame using a set of alternative recipes which combine particularly well with each other.
Prepare to write down the recipe!
Here you can see the new area in which the components are produced. At the end you can see those two final manufacturers who produce those heavy modular frames. This new production area uses so much coal and steel that I have to temporarily disable my coal power plants because I only have MK2 miners and medium nodes in the area, and at the moment, I must be honest, I'm a little short on coal. As you can see, this new area is divided in two main floors. On the lowest one, you have all the foundries which produce the steel for the new production line just above, and on this second floor, you have the production of modular frames and encased heavy beams. I use a very efficient alternative recipe which produces metal plates from plastic and steel. Those two assemblers are enough to feed another third in steel plate that use another alternate recipe, the bolted iron plate recipe, and that third one fits in reinforced plates in two other assemblers using the bolted frames alternate recipes. So there is a total of 5 assemblers working together to produce the modular frames. The last part of the setup is that all those alternate recipes requires screws, but they are easy to produce thanks to the alternate recipe for producing screws from steel beams. This is what the 4 constructors located at the center of that production line are doing. Just remember, to help you understand better the setup, don't forget the save file is available. This save file with this version of the factory is available in the description, so you can study the current setup I'm describing right now by downloading it and just looking at it. But it's true that this production line depends a lot on obtaining good alternative recipes. On the first production line I do in the previous episode of this Let's Play, I was not relying at all on alternative recipes, but now we are 20 to 30 hours into the game and you should have enough crash site data disk to have a good bunch of alternative recipes. But the thing is that this combination of alternative recipes I just shown you right there is so effective and so efficient that honestly it's worth waiting to have them to start really mass producing you heavy modular frames. And now we are ready, we are finally ready to unlock tier 8 and send package 3 into space. We are finally there with a little delay, it's true, and I wanted to reach here in 20 hours and it took me like 22, something like this. But now we can get down to business. But before that, just a little word from our kind and generous patron. You can see I have already installed a miner to get bauxite. It's located not far from the area where I installed my plastic and rubber production, and I bring back that bauxite by truck into my main plant. I've already laid out the refineries and built a small temporary aluminum production line under it. It's not efficient, not very productive, but for now this is just what we need to have a few alclad sheets and aluminium casing for starting unlocking all those milestones we are going to need in tier 7 and 8. Obviously we are starting with bauxite refinery, and it will allow us to activate our entire new refinery area. We have the bauxite, we already have the coal, since the area is richly endowed with it, and we have the water coming from the lake, so everything is indeed ready. So there we are, we can see I will start all those refineries with the basic recipes, but later we will be able to move on more advanced recipes, using coke instead of coal, for instance. And all this setup is done in a way that when I will want to change the recipe for something more efficient, I won't have to rebuild anything because all this is already planned in advance. So now we are doing it. We can see that we use the alumina solution recipe on the 3 front refineries. Those 3 front refineries feed with alumina 3 other refineries that produce the aluminium scrap with the basic recipe. And 3 times we return the waste water in excess to the first refinery. As you can see, we are using the waste silicate with the scrap to produce ingots. You can see that I reuse some excess water which return to the system with a little additional contribution in water coming from some nearby water extractors. And below those refineries, that's the place where we are installing our temporary production line for ingots. We are going to use smart splitters because for now we are producing too much scrap for the waste silicate that we are bringing to the area, and now we are ready to produce our first aluminum ingots. And as you can see, those aluminum ingots are separated in 2. On the left, we go to an assembler where we will be able to manufacture our first alclad sheets, which we will need to unlock the base Mark V. And on the right, we have a constructor in which we are going to produce aluminium casing. So that's it. It's finally done. We are now ready to progress in tier 7 and 8, and soon we are going to unlock all those new milestones. We are now missing one very last thing, which are the batteries. With this large empty area on the screen right now, we will use that space to make batteries with sulfur and alumina. And now this is just a matter of letting the magic of shooting editing work, and instantly, in the blink of an eye, this magnificent new production setup appears in front of you, and there we are already producing those new precious batteries. Because we will need them, we will really need those batteries. We will need them for the same reason we produce computers with quartz computers alternative recipe. We want to save oil. Oil must be used to produce power, not to make plastic to produce computers or supercomputers. This is why we are going to once again use an alternative recipe, allowing us to make supercomputers with batteries. And this is why we need so much of them. And you can also see that the factory is starting to become quite substantial in size, and I finally decided to install a new hypertube line, allowing us to travel more quickly between the furthest point of the factory. Now we can return in the blink of an eye to the hub and proceed to the last step of this let's play, which is the unlocking of Miner Mark III. This is what we are going to do in the next episode. As soon as we have the first supercomputers, thanks to our new battery production, we will therefore be able to use the surrounding nodes at full capacity. Thanks to our new Bells Mark V and our new Miner MK3, with those new milestones unlocked, we can start to actually mass produce efficiently the parts for the Space Elevator Package 4. Don't forget, we are only 22 hours into the game right now. It's still, in some sort of way, the early game, and our own goal is already in sight. So next episode, we are already almost at the end of the Let's Play in some sort of way. We will finally be able to set up our final production line for the Phase 4 Space Elevator, starting as quickly as possible with the nuclear pasta production. Because as you know, nuclear pasta is very slow to produce, very energy intensive and very copper intensive, so we will not be able to produce them at a very high rate. So it is important to start as soon as possible, and this will be the main objective of the next episode. And again, I want to thank you for watching that episode until the end. I'm really so grateful about that. And it's mega important for motivation and to create content. So thanks again.